Okay, welcome back to this USBGF stream sponsored by Gammon Stuff. Thank you to Corey Smith, commentator. I'm Ben Friesen. And also thank you to all the people who've helped set the stream up today. We had Matt Reklaitis and Roberto Litzenberger as our special helpers on site. And then, of course, we have Antoinette Williams, who arranged for commentary. And last but definitely not least, Michael Mesich, who does our production behind the scenes. We are just about ready to go with the Liberty Masters finals between Matt Reklaitis and Gary Koscielny. And Corey, welcome.
Hey, thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. Where are you today?
I am actually in Las Vegas. I was hoping to make it to New York, but just got off a cruise and had no way to know if I was exposed to COVID. So decided it would be irresponsible.
I want to be like Ben, actually.
Yeah.
I go from a cruise to Vegas.
Next stop, the moon.
We're talking about backgammon. Life is good, baby.
It is. Definitely having a lot of fun. And I'm really excited actually to be doing some commentary here. I have not been able to do commentary for some time. And Matt Reklaitis and Gary Koscielny are both people who I've spent a lot of time playing with and talking with. So very excited to see them play. It looks like we just had a blip on the feed though, so
yep, I see that.
Let's see if we get this back. This only happened once in the last couple hours, so I think this will come right back. But I will message.
Do I need to refresh or just wait?
I would say just wait for now, and I'll in fact, I think Michael can go ahead. Oh, here we go. We're back.
I think we're back.
We're back. Yep. We're good to go. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and refresh. That way you've got a live feed, and it looks like we can get started here.
I just refreshed here. Hold on here. Yep. Okay. Yeah. I have a black screen. So, oh, there we go.
Now it looks like they are going to use a clock for this match, which will be a nice
I like
addition.
that. They did not use a clock for the last match.
Yes. And also no baffle box, so there'll be less confusion about who's on roll. Unfortunately, we're not able to correct the glare this time. The room that we're streaming in has a lot of harsh lighting above the board, so we will do our best to see the dice.
There's a handshake.
Yeah. All right. Good. Looks like we're about ready to go then.
Ben, can you tell me who's who on which side of the board?
Yeah. So on the top we have Matt. Matt is a Boston area player, works for a big tech company, has spent a lot of time actually helping the USBGF, both as a board member and doing a lot of technical work. Gary is from Florida. He works, I believe, in finance and is really a staple of the Florida scene. I know he even does some weekly training sessions with the players down there. Florida, if you don't know, has an amazing backgammon scene. They're playing every day, all day, everything from cash games to tournaments to online play. It's really an amazing world down there. And that's, I think, especially thanks to people like Jason Briggs and Karen Davis. Even like Avi Cohen is running events commonly now. People just love backgammon down there. Lots of social clubs. So it's a lot of fun. If you ever get time to spend down in Florida, in Southeast Florida, you will always find backgammon to play. So
that's cool. I never knew that.
Now this 5-2, getting into the game since we're past the opening rolls, I think that Gary should have considered a hit and make the ace instead of the anchor, but I can't be sure if his play was right or wrong because his opponent did have 9 checkers in the zone, so it was certainly reasonable to play a little defense, especially when Matt has the 5-point already made.
Agreed with that.
A couple of standard plays here. This 3-2 is probably just going to come down. Quick kind of comparison count here. I believe that the race is quite close, so certainly Gary or Matt could have considered leaving the blot and giving himself some numbers to make the 4 or the 7.
Does he come down or does he play it safe here? Looks like he's going to play it safe.
1-2 is interesting. If you come down, you really only add 4-1, and you already have 6-1. So I think the safe play is fine.
Yep. And I would have got hit probably.
Yeah, look at that. He rolls a 6-2 immediately.
Oh, here we go. Now we might get into some cube action here. It looks like
Yeah, 4-2. He already played the 4-2. So now it's really about
he's got
race
two more. There we go. Yeah. So
and about the amount of contact that's left. My quick thought is that the race is too close to double this, but let me do a better count here. Um,
and it looks like Matt is can account two also. Um, who are you counting there? You probably
yeah, I've already got it done. It's 114 to 130, so it is almost enough. But I think Matt's correct to roll. He doesn't have his 4-point yet. I think that's key here. And there's not a lot of numbers that make the 4-point or the 7-point, so I don't think you're risking losing your market. 5-2 followed by 6-2. Now there are more numbers that lose the market. So now you do have to look at it again. Numbers like 5-2 and 5-3 can play down. And I think they would have lost the market. 6-2, however, is very bad. This is a shot leaving.
I might be
numbers.
behind you. I need to
Oh yeah, go ahead and refresh. I did just do that. I should be right on top of the stream here. So it's a 6-2 to play for Matt. He has to choose between leaving 11,
Oh, there we go.
13 shots this way, which he does, or he could have left 11 shots the other way, but still had a big problem. 5-1 does hit, so he is going to get hit here. It's not over yet, though. He's in pretty bad shape, but if he can enter immediately, he's going to win this game a lot. He's still actually about even in the race, so it's not over. And in fact, Cary does leave the 3-4 as a hitting number, which I'm not opposed to, but I'm not sure it was necessary because I think this is just a pass. Yeah, so
yeah.
maybe
So
you don't leave.
why
the two
even leave the
shots.
number, right?
The trouble is if you play 6-1 and then Matt rolls a 3, I'm not 100% sure you have a double anymore. So you might actually have to make this play, leaving 2 shots in order to ensure that you can cube Matt out even after he rolls most of his 3s. So I'm not really sure about that one, but it'll be interesting to see later.
Yeah, agree to that. Yep.
5-3 opening, standard. So I don't think either of these players are new to high pressure situations. This should be a pretty big match, though, for both of them. Pretty high up on their list. This Masters tournament had 32 players. As a Masters, they usually have very large entry fees in the range of $300 to $500. So they should be
there's
playing
there's a nice person also that goes
exactly. I love this play. Many of these awkward numbers after the split, you're supposed to just make the bold play. And I love just shoving it in your opponent's face, make them perform, and just don't be afraid to play some backgammon. And that's what happens here. I believe this is a 5-1. Is that what you see?
Yeah, that looks like you got to cover, right?
Yeah. The only question is, do you slash?
On the 1 point, maybe
right.
Because now all his 6s work really good. 6s and 5s are good. But here you go. Oh, there.
He does have to perform still. I mean, but he did have a lot of ways to make the 5 or the 4. So maybe you are supposed to hit. It certainly, I think, worked out fine this way for him. And then 6-5. Wow.
Double hit, or do you run all the way?
I think you have to hit, and once you hit,
you got your 5 point. Yeah, that looks really
nice. You really don't want Cary already has a nice offensive game. You really didn't want him making that.
Is there a double right here? Nah, probably not.
No, not for red for sure. Maybe I would have considered blue maybe from the roof, but with 2 up, you definitely can't. So 6-1. Usually it's right to make an innerboard point before you hit a second checker. So I'm going to assume that this must be right because you're hitting that second checker inside, you're making the innerboard point. You don't go after the checker on the other side of the board because you really it's too much. It's too big a risk. Now, you were asking about the cube. Red has 10 checkers in the zone. 2s, 3s, and 4s attack. Blue is on the next point you want to make, which is certainly better for your position. There are 2 more blocks. The only reason he's hesitating is because blue has a 3-point board, and it's a good 3-point board. It's the 3-5-6.
Yep,
So,
and he's got 2 checkers on the opponent's ace point too. So that
if I'm in Matt's shoes here and I'm down 0-2, I'm always doubling. I don't know about 0-1, but boy, this is a tough cube to take. I think, wow. I actually thought Gary would think about this a lot more. Maybe it's just a dead drop. Maybe I'm seeing wins that don't exist. What do you think, Corey?
he doesn't always make that 4 point. He probably has to hit loose, and he had 2 checkers on his opponent's ace, which sometimes I see it. It's a take just because of that, right? But
Yeah, I definitely was leaning towards taking. I'm curious. In fact, I'm going to see if I can set this one up from memory, hopefully quickly, because I am very curious about it.
we need to start taking pictures real quick, right?
Right, right. You know, the two extra blots certainly.
Yeah, that
Very...
probably that because you get gammon real fast if you don't perform. So that wasn't his favorite 6 out. He's got.
You know, it looks like it is a very close take pass decision. So Gary couldn't have gotten that one wrong, and yeah, it looks good. Ooh, and my computer just yelled at me for trying to use extreme gammon while I was doing everything
Really?
else, so I won't do that again.
How about your phone? Do you have it on your phone or
I
no?
do. I can do some 3-ply analysis here. So in the meantime, I'm actually going to stop talking for just a few seconds and see if we can get streaming on Facebook as well for our viewers there. So I will be right back.
Reg just made his got both 5 points now, and that looks like a hit. Yep. Beautiful roll. Probably going to come in on the 2. Probably wants to slot his 4 point. Coming up to the 5 is probably not. Because then he'll let him play behind and he'll slot his 4. Why would you? Maybe he wants more. Okay. Unstack the midpoint there. So it's got to be okay. Can just clean it all up, or he can make the 2 point here. That's a clean play. That looks pretty good.
And okay, I am back.
Thank you for coming back. Yep.
Unfortunately, the Facebook viewers are out of luck for this stream because I have to have changed that before we started. But that's all right. Hopefully they'll find us on YouTube and Twitch. If you are watching on YouTube or Twitch, give us a like. Maybe share us on your social media. That way others can watch and enjoy this. So what do we have here? This is a little 4-5 holding game that Matt's playing. He's got a nice board on the other side. And with a 4-5 game, I believe that Gary has to clear that 11 point before he can ever think about doubling. So we've got some time before we'll worry about the cube. Also, the race, you know, one of the nice things about a 4-5 holding game is that you usually have racing equity. Just because it's such an awkward baron for your opponent that you will be able to run some checkers off and win a little bit in the race as compared to like the 1-2 game where you have to hit. You just can't win races from a 1-2, 1-3, you know, any kind of deeper holding game.
Here it's still getting a little awkward.
2-1?
Yep, little awkward. There we go. Now it's even worse.
Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know if you can ever double on awkward from match position. I think you have to wait for shots, but I'm certainly starting to feel like I would rather have Matt's side in this game. Now, double 3, I think, is going to be a really interesting play. We can choose, as Matt, we can choose to step out with 2 of these. And while we might be reducing contact, we are ensuring that we hold contact longer because now Matt's position is pretty fragile. He only has one, maybe two roles that he can play where he doesn't have to leave those anchors. So I do like that he considered coming out. I have no idea if he made the right choice here. These are very tough decisions. Not very often do players find themselves in a 5-4 back game. So they're certainly not going to be well versed in these decisions. It is still getting awkward though.
Yeah, Matt looks like he's got to go here.
There are some numbers. Nope, he definitely has to leave with this one. Now the only question is, do you allow 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 to hit and cover or pick pass? I like Matt's decision here. I think that you're getting a lot more contact out of the 5-point than the 4-point.
Yep.
So you go ahead and hold that contact. And now I think Cary might have a decision. Probably not. I think you just continue to pay later, but you can only hold off for one, maybe two more rolls. So it was reasonable to consider paying now. Here, let's see. I suspect it doesn't matter. I think I like this play. I may have slotted 5-2. Well, this is his last roll that he doesn't have to break something. So Matt's just really hoping not to roll a 6 here. Keep the checkers in play on the other side of the board.
Yep.
This is going to be one pip too many, but that's okay. He can just bury a checker and play to the 3. I'm feeling very confident that he should not shift from the 4 or the 6. It might look like it saves something, but it doesn't, because you still end up losing a checker behind the prime. So you want to keep the gap as low as possible. That way, when you hit the shot, if they come in, they're not in such a good racing position.
Oh, wow. Look at that roll.
Is that a double 4?
5-4.
5-4. That is exactly the number he was hoping for. And by the way, for those of you that might be thinking, oh, he's so lucky, he had a lot of opportunities to roll that number. So it's not actually as lucky as it looks. He was supposed to roll it 1 in 18 times. He had 10 shakes at it. I suspect he was a big favorite to have rolled it by now.
I don't know. Look at the 2s. Look at Blue's 2s.
I know, this is really interesting. And the race equity is not actually that bad. If this was a pure race, the wastage might make it like where he can win 10% or 15%. I'm kind of pulling those numbers out of thin air without doing a count. But if he can win some races, then you don't need that much more shot equity to take this cube. So let me do a quick count, see if I can come up with a racing win percent, and then we'll go from there.
Well, it looks like the race it looks like what do you got? Well, red is down by like 40 pips, right?
Yeah, but it's the wastage that I'm looking at. So we've got 13 times 4, which is 52, plus 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 makes 66. Yeah, it's going to be probably just a pass. I got 75 to 81. That would mean that with Keith Count, it's not great here, but with Keith Count, I would estimate that he had something like 10 or 12% racing equity. And so you have to make up another like 12% in shot equity, and then you have to take away any gammons, because Blue could have rolled 1, 2 or 2, 4, some pick pass numbers that make it a little more awkward, add a little bit of gammon risk. I can't imagine this was a big take either or a big pass, but it could be. I'm going to try to set up on my phone like you suggested while they.
I remember that position. He had 3 on the 7, 3 on the 6, and the rest were on the 1 and the 2, and then his opponent had the 1 and the open 2 points. So
it was a pretty good one, or a pretty easy one to remember, and it was 1-1. So XG does on 3-ply on mobile, which I've got here, it does like the pass, but it's quite small, 0.02. Now I have no idea what that would do on plus, but certainly it was not unreasonable to take that. I'm glad that Matt considered it, because sometimes you know when you have a game plan like hitting, you get stuck with this idea that if you're not going to get shots, you have to pass. Whereas Matt was able to circum that preconceived notion and realize that he had some race equity and had some chances to win there. All right, so 4-5 runs. I love it. Neither player really has much structure yet. 5-6, so this is going to leave shots again. The question is,
Yeah.
do you want to bring the checker around, or do you just want to play to the deuce? This, I don't know. This looks like just my automatic play, but it doesn't mean it's right. So, same thing here, just trying to
Yep.
race. Matt is really hoping to get missed here. He
He
might.
got hit.
Yeah, he did get hit. You know, he may have had a pointless double there, meaning a double without having an anchor or without having a point in your inner board. If he got missed, I don't think so. It looked a little early, but
There's
that
now
was
a
where my
crappy
mind went.
6. Yeah.
Yeah. So 4-2 again hits and covers. I don't think there's any other option there. I didn't
Oh,
see it. Double one's going to be interesting. We're always slotting the 5-point, and I think we're making it. But you also could consider making the 3-point and taking the stronger anchor right now, because your opponent
there
doesn't
you go.
have a lot of structure. I think that it works out well this way.
Then 2 off the 6-point if you're doing that, right? That seems to be the. Oh, that's. I don't know what you think about that last one. I thought possibly you unstack, but that might be right.
I think I liked making the 3 in this position. I think we're trying to find a blitzy cube. So if
Here
you
you
can
go. There's a shot
make some
right now.
structure. Yeah, this got awkward fast. But that's okay. I mean, you do have the 5-point. It's a pretty good prize for what would otherwise be a bad number.
Yeah, exactly.
But now double one. I mean, this is just going to be a standard holding game from here forward. We've got an anchor on the 4-point, and the race is close enough. What we're looking for here to cube as blue is we're looking for something like a 15 or 20% race lead, and we're looking for numbers that clear most shot equity. So Gary will need to have no more than 4 checkers on the 13, for example, because right now, even if he rolls double 6, he cannot clear that point. So this
Yeah.
is actually a pretty bad number because he really wanted to move that checker. That way he can consider cubing. Now, that being said, the race is actually closer than it might appear. So I don't think he has 15 or 20% just looking off, just quick glance here. While he's playing the 6-5, I guess I'll get a quick count.
Yeah, red might be a lot closer than you think.
So
could you run if red has the lead here? Could he thinking about leaving?
yeah, you can basically never run off these positions. I mean, it's just one of those rules that I will teach beginners. Not just don't run off anchors unless it's doubles. There are exceptions, but it's so rare that it's not worth using clock time on, in my opinion.
The risk reward, yeah.
Right. It's just too much to think about, too much risk. So Matt we got a nice cluster over there. He's got 67 plus 7 plus 42. So he has 116. And in fact, if that math was good, Gary has 115 minus this roll. So the race is almost dead even. So Gary's not going to be looking to cube unless he rolls some big numbers. And in fact, what's not unlikely is Matt's going to roll a 5-5 or a 6-6 in the next, dozen shakes and all of a sudden be completely in this game.
And he would take the lead.
Yeah, so 6-2, I think you actually make a point because you know your opponent's going to consider running at some point. You really want to build some structure and not just blindly race.
But
4-3,
some of his
definitely.
fours are kind of crappy now, or threes and fours
No,
are
not
kind of,
really. You can just clear from the back, clear from the
yeah.
8. It's okay. Some of the threes make the 1 or slot the 2. It's all going to work out okay.
Yeah.
6-3 is the only one that's annoying, and that just clears the 8. Everything else should be all right. Now Gary, I think, is doing a count just to make sure, but he is not ahead, so he can't double this.
There he
6-5
goes.
is a great number, though. I mean, if you break contact first, you're definitely gonna have the advantage. Oh, I just realized how dark my lighting is. Let me turn the light on here and see if I can improve that. It might be too much, but we'll give it a shot here. Hey, hello everybody. This is a nice cube. Quick count has us
Red's got
at
101, I believe, right?
5193, 101 for red, and then we have 35 plus 40 is 75, 80, 91, 92 for blue. This
So
looks like a take to me. It's about 10% in the race. We still have contact. And the Baron is actually a little bit awkward because all those checkers are on the 7 and the 8. So I really like this take.
there you go. Did you call it?
Yep. Is that double 5? There it
That
is.
is.
All of a sudden, Gary is wondering, well, shoot, I'm looking at a recube 2 rolls later. Maybe I didn't want to double that. Now that being said, I'm sure he had a double. It was a strong double. There's no way that's a weight. But Matt, especially being down in the match, although it's only 1 point, it's not really enough to get crazy. But being down in the match is going to make him consider recubing just a fraction earlier.
It's about right, almost dead even right now.
Yep. In fact, it is dead even, I believe. I just did a quick shift in my mind. So that means that Matt is slightly ahead, about 8 pips or so after this 5 pip roll. 4-1. That's not for the low numbers. To put a checker on the 4 is kind of nice. But Matt is in a strong position here with the cube access. Before the 2-1, I would have guessed he was like 60-65% minimum.
We might see a recube here soon.
Yeah, well, neither of them seems to want to win this race. So
no. All right, there you go.
All right, a little better here.
I'm just looking for the pause and the thinking, and when does he go back then? When does
he's short a checker and he's down 3 pips. So certainly this would have been a little too aggressive.
Yeah.
But now he's up 6 pips and up a checker. Ooh, but you know what? Gary's not giving up.
No.
You're down 5 pips and a checker. He got a roll.
Now he's up 3.
Yep. They're keeping it close. It's whichever player blinks first is gonna.
Gary,
wow, Gary is
like
relentless.
Crazy.
He's showing why it was an easy double. Even after double 5s, he's not worried. Yeah, this looks like a blink. I think we just play 4-3. We hope to keep taking 2 checkers off at a time.
As you say it.
And here's another one. Wow. So now Matt has 7 checkers left and he's down 6 pips. He really needs this big number here. I think that qualifies.
Yep.
This is where backgammon sometimes becomes pure luck. You play skillfully to get here. You feel like you've done your part, and then you just have to hope the dice cooperate.
There they are.
Wow, what a shake. Double 4s. That's all but ends it here. We'll see if Matt has a response.
Wow,
Matt is not giving up.
Now where does he go here? What's your best 3?
Well, it should be 5. Oh no! Oh wow! If you only could roll doubles, 5-2 would have been better. That was where my head was because you can make double 2s play. But because you can play both numbers, this has to be better. You want to be able to roll a 5 or a 6. Unfortunately, you're not a favorite, so there's no cubing here. Wow, 4-2. What a game. What a game.
Unless you're playing in a chouette and people like to gamble and they double from terrible.
Right. Yeah, well, that would have been a pretty big beaver. He was behind by quite a bit there.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
He was only about 40, well, exactly 38.9% using mobile here. But now we are at 4-1. So now Matt will have to be a little bit more aggressive as he starts to get behind in this match. This can be where a match can really go poorly or where you can just recover quickly. Certainly, it's not hopeless or anything. It's what we would call 7 away, 10 away. So Gary needs 7 points, Matt needs 10.
Yeah.
Double 5 blitz. This is a standard position here. If at a normal score, if Matt was to not come in, this would be a pass. But
Matt,
3-2. This is interesting. I should know this as a reference. I don't, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, there was a hit too.
There was, but I like Matt's play. I should just know this. I think this should be a pretty standard opening move sequence that people know.
You know, but again, it depends. Sometimes it depends on the score of the match too, right?
Yep. Yep. That's actually, I think I would anchor instantly, except that because you're down 4-1, I don't mind playing a more volatile game. But stepping into the volatile game there, when your opponent has a 3-point board, it might not be volatile. It might be suicidal. So I think Matt, makes the right play there. So what do we have? You think this is a 3-1? I can't quite tell. Okay. Yep. 3-1.
Is there a thought here that you should be?
Doubling?
Is it Matt down? He's down. He's got He's got the opponent's 5 point.
I certainly.
Lewis
in fact, I think he considered it. I can't
Lewis
imagine.
Lewis stuck on the ace point. Now when you're down 4-1, is this not? Oh, you just lost your market.
No, I mean the thing is, your opponent does a 4-point board in a nice game. I don't know if you want to give him that. Maybe you do though. I'll actually put it in just for some.
Yeah, before those double aces. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, you're always going to have some really nice market losers. There's no doubt.
But I thought because of the score, maybe you would think about doubling there because you're down 4-1. You get a little more leeway when you're down, right?
Yeah, and you are right to be looking at it on 3-ply. It's very close, but but 3-ply does say no double, so he was just supposed to lose his market with that one. And in fact, if I make it 2-4, it's a clear no double on 3-ply. So the only reason that you can consider doubling that position is because you're down in the match.
Yeah.
Not the only reason, I suppose. I can look at 0-0 as well and see if being even is enough. No, in fact, it's a big blunder. So yeah,
a big blunder to double.
If the match score is even, yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So double ones. Where do you play the last one? Your opponent does have 9 checkers in the zone, so you can consider anchoring.
Yeah.
I think I like splitting. You do have the 5 points, so any kind of hitting exchange is not clearly going to go in your opponent's favor.
Yeah.
You do have the chance to recover. Now, though, the anchor seems pretty strong. It's hard to believe that you can make any kind of bold play here when your opponent has this many checkers in the zone.
Double fives? 5-4? Double fives.
I think double 5. Yep.
And 2 more down, or you don't make the ace?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that making the ace is just too fragile. Your opponent doesn't have that much structure or flexibility yet.
Yeah, and you want to make your 5 point, and that will.
Now, is this a 2-1? I don't know. Let's find out.
What was that?
4-1. This is a big play. I don't know if this was necessary.
I don't think so.
That's interesting. So when you make this play, your opponent ends up in a terrible position when they miss. I mean, it's got a huge upside. But you do get hit a lot. It's 11, 15. 17
60.
hitting numbers. So I don't know that. I'm not sure that that was the right
Yeah, double
risk
twos was probably
reward.
the only thing that doesn't hit. And now you're
Yeah, this might be a market loser, but he does have to play the last two, and they're a little awkward. I would definitely come down and go to the ace. And then you can try to figure out whether or not you have a cube or if Matt even has a take at this point. So Matt's just gonna slot and slot, and now we
I don't
almost get
think
his
this is a
cube.
double from here. Just he's so awkward.
I don't know. I I don't know how awkward that position actually is. That's
Well, you had 6 checkers on that 8 point. That was a,
yeah.
but yeah, you might be right.
Certainly, if your opponent has
So now
the
would you now you're thinking about it, right?
yeah, I think so. I don't know. Maybe 3-1 is not a market loser, but I thought it was.
I think
Let
so
me put it
too.
into 3-ply and see what 3-ply has to say about it.
And he didn't even double
No. Yeah, and he's right not to. Well, maybe this is too good, but he was right not to double before. It's just too
with the
it's more
3-1.
awkward than I thought. Um not and now he probably was just too good. This one I don't know either. Let's see. I mean, what do you? I guess you're just afraid of 6-5, so you can just roll on for sure. And 3-ply agrees with me. So now he
Uh,
just continues to roll on, and he's just hoping to win a gammon here, not leave any shots. 5-3, five. Nope. Yeah, 5-3 is awkward. 6-5 is well shots even. 6-5 is
yeah,
shots as well. 5-2 you can play, and I believe you just
yep.
play it to the ace.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
you could clear the 6 point, and then it eliminates some of your awkward fives or your shot leaving fives. In fact, because there's so many shot leaving fives, and because your opponent is already in, I do think he should be looking at cubing him out here. I'm not convinced there's enough gammons to keep rolling. Those 5-6 and 5-3 are immediate shot leaving numbers. So to roll on when you
But
have four immediate shot leaving numbers is pretty awkward.
yeah, and this could get really bad if he.
Yeah, and it is actually very close. In fact, it's almost a take. So Gary is making blunders here by not doubling Matt out or doubling him in either way. But he should be doubling. He was too good for a few rolls. Once Matt entered, it stopped being too good. So he really needs to pause here, hopefully, and find the proper cube action. He hasn't paid the price yet, though.
No,
I'm going to look at this one as well quickly just to see if this was. Yeah, we are back into take territory. So now 5-1 is gonna make it a clear take and maybe not a double anymore. But no, looking at it, it will be a double again. And there he goes. I wonder if he forgot that he didn't cube, if he was just playing on. Now the question is,
yeah.
do you take this, Corey?
Oh,
It's a tough cube to take, but some of there's immediate shot leaving numbers.
yeah. There's
5-1,
interesting.
5-2, and 6-5.
And even if he comes in, you might have a chance later on to get a hit. But you're right. Um, there's some crappy numbers right now, and there's not too many gammons, right? Gammon is probably off.
No, I can't imagine. I'm gonna go ahead and look it up on 3-ply. It looks like there's only about 10% gammons for Gary here. Now 3-ply does say that this is a monster take and a monster double, about 200 on both sides.
Oh, really?
Matt
Okay.
has about 30% win chances and only
Here we
loses
go.
about 8% extra
It's
gammons.
going to get exciting here.
5-4. This is safe for one roll.
Yeah.
But now it does leave some double shots, I think. No, it doesn't. It's still just single shots, unless I'm not seeing some number here.
No, I think it's just single, right? 6-5
Yeah.
is just one. Yeah, all your
5-4 is just a single shot, but a lot of single shots.
here it
now.
is.
5-2.
Yep.
Yep, it just plays to the ace. Now, can you ever Can you ever redouble on the come here? I don't think so. It's just a single
No.
shot. You're not that desperate in the game or in the match yet. So I think you just hit the shot. Sometimes play on for a gammon. In fact,
I think,
always. You already have a 6 prime. I for some reason saw a 5 prime there.
yeah, for sure play on here, right?
Yep, and you're just going to go ahead and try to slot the front of your prime. That way you get hit when he comes in. You really want to leave that checker right where it is. That way 1 4, 1 3, 1 2, not 1 2, I apologize. 2 3, 2 4. These are all shot leaving numbers. I don't know about this 3. I don't
I
mind
think
it.
I go to, yeah, there's a first shot.
There we go. The only reason I hesitated with that 3 is now you really don't want your opponent to anchor. So when you roll a 2 here, you feel like you desperately need to hit the other checker. So if you leave both of your spares on the 1 or on the 3 and the 4, I think you are better able to hit that other checker. In this case, it would have been duplicated. It would have been only 1s and 2s that hit. So maybe this is the right idea. I'm really not
But
sure.
putting it on that ace sometimes causes trouble later. What has he got here? What is our
Well,
roll?
I thought it was 4-1, but if it's 4-1, I would have already played 4-1 instantly. So it must be 5-1 or 3-1 or
So
I'm
what do
not
you do? Oh,
sure.
6-1. What
If
do you
it's
do
six
with
one,
four
yeah,
one?
I think this is you just have to make this play. I understand his hesitation. You're giving up the prime, but I think you just have to make this play. You're going to win so many gammons from here. You just keep rolling and hope that you don't get hit by the disaster 2-6 from the bar.
What do you want to do? Do you run or you
No, absolutely. You keep shots, keep pressure on the other checker. I think you play in from 8 to whatever it is, 8 to
8 to
3.
4 and 5 to 6 to 5, or you go to,
Nope,
I
you don't
think
want
it's,
to leave it on the 4 because you're going to use a 2 to hit. So you just play 8 to 3. Now you have 1s, 4s, and 5s to hit or point, and you have 2s to hit over here. If he
gotcha.
rolls 2-6, you still have 2s as well as do 14s hit? No, they do not. I like this play. Yeah, there's a little more risk now, but you're really hoping to just lock this up. It's a lot tougher for me. I think you do have to run now, and now you're
Yep.
just gonna have to cash when your opponent comes in. But I mean, again, I'm not so sure, but
Look at this. I don't know. Was slotting right there? Did that seem right to you? Well,
you
he's
know,
hoping to get
I didn't
another,
actually look at it. I was looking at the
a 2-6 here could
6-4.
be. Oh no,
Yeah, the 6-4 slotting was right. It was a good play.
nicely done, Matt.
Was that you? The beeping, the dinging?
That was me. Yes,
Okay.
it's on
Yeah.
my computer. It's not on
Oh,
my
I see.
phone.
So for those of you that haven't heard the news yet, we do have the ABT brackets up on the USBGF site. If you go to usbgf.org, on the top right, you can actually click on ABT Tournament Updates and then select the division that you want to see brackets for. We currently do have the last chance running in both the championship and the intermediate division. And looking there, let's see how people are doing. Looks like we've got on one side Kimon Papakrasopoulos, and on the other side we've got Roberto, Jeff Levine, Roberto Litzenberger, and Herb Roman. So we're down to the final couple players in the last chance. It looks like Rory Pascar won the consolation. Congrats to him. And of course, Mike Ireland, who we saw earlier, won the main event. Now, getting back to this game, Matt Reklaitis looks like he is going to win a gammon. In fact, there is some minor threat towards the BG. No one wants to see that.
No, he
Oh,
should get off.
nah, this is backgammon. You forget, Corey. There's gonna be a double, there's gonna be a 3-1, and all of a sudden Gary's gonna be, oh, well, all right, not this time. There
Well,
might still
there's
be a
double
missing
threes.
number.
Double
Two,
threes?
three, double three, something like this. No, 1-3 and double three, I think are the two numbers. 4-3 does it. He's off. So now Matt will double him out, or they'll just Gary will effectively
Yeah.
resign for 2 points. And we've got a 7-point match.
Perfect. So are you playing a little poker in Vegas?
Yeah, I am. I'm playing some Pot Limit Omaha, hanging out with Stick Jacob Rice. This guy who most of you probably have never heard of because he never plays backgammon anymore. But
But backgammon and poker have a lot of similarities with just when you think you've got it all in the bag.
it's
That
amazing. People,
that
I explain to people at poker, if they really want to understand variance and luck, they need to play backgammon because
agreed.
people have such a tough time seeing or understanding how luck works. If you're 99%, that means somebody has to lose 1 in 100 times,
Yeah,
and that is
exactly.
really hard for that one person to handle. So it's yeah.
Exactly.
But Las Vegas is actually, I would say, relatively slow. And I'm not surprised just because of the pandemic. People are limiting their travel. Very happy to see that we had almost 100 players in New York. I know that with the recent COVID surges, that many people decided it was not, um, uh,
Including
you know,
yourself.
in, including myself, was not within their risk tolerance. Funny enough, I canceled not for my safety, but for others. I just got off a cruise and just could not be sure that I wasn't exposed heavily to COVID-19, especially this new variant. As I say, I was on a cruise. Obviously, my risk tolerance is quite high for COVID these days. But I do hope everybody is staying safe and doing what they're comfortable with. I think that's the key now in our community right now is that we should just all do what we're comfortable with. Don't risk your life for a game if that's not within your comfort level. And I think for many of
Exactly.
us,
Yep.
it is. I mean, for many of us, we feel healthy and we're willing to risk it, just like we sit down and play backgammon. But I would never criticize someone for choosing not to. I mean, it's such a wild world we live in today. I think everybody's got to make their own choice here and then live with it.
Nice. Yep.
Just like in
So what
backgammon.
do you like with this 3-1 here?
I have no clue. I think I like slotting. I think I like coming with the 3 and slotting the 5, but it might be too bold.
Well, you were going to duplicate or duplication of ones. It looks like that's a pretty simple make, the 3-point and hit.
Let me try to put that in.
Blue is might pause here a little bit. They might have some cube decisions. I don't think quite yet, but maybe. Here he can slot again, and there he's going. He's slotting. He's taking your advice.
Yeah.
Duplication of ones.
5 points pretty strong.
I think he'll hit him on the. You hit on the ace here, or do you just bring 2 checkers down?
5-2.
I don't know if I'd
Wow.
pick that up.
Well, if you don't, you're leaving 20 shots. It's a lot of numbers.
You're leaving a lot of shots, but your opponent has no board, and now you've. Double fours. I think you got to make your 5 point. Otherwise, you're going to burn checkers. Now red has total control of the outfield. If he can make that point, which he cannot do yet.
Well, and he may have control of the outfield, but I think he's down in the race. So I think that
Yeah.
it's really not in
He
such a
needed to
strong
pick up
position.
because of Blue's board has gotten a lot better. Gary's board is much better here. And like you said earlier, Blue is just a big double away to.
Yeah, ooh,
Now
except 5-3 is a huge.
there it is. There's your big double. I was quoting you, by the way. You look away for a second, and I think we got Blue is going to double them out right now. You missed Gary's double fives.
Oh, yes,
You looked
I
away.
did.
Yeah. You looked away for a second, and
All of a sudden, Blue is in a dominating position here. Is this game over? Is Matt counting, you think?
Yeah.
Or did he already play?
He's counting.
Oh, I see. Gary was just double checking, but this should just be an easy pass.
Yeah.
So Corey, you're from the Twin Cities, is that right?
Yep, we're about zero. Wait, it's about the temperature's about zero right now.
What's backgammon like in the Twin Cities?
So on New Year's Day we had a little party, and Mondays and Thursdays there's tournaments on Mondays and Thursdays. We did more shoe wedding during the week, but not quite like we used to. A lot of places where we went to are closed now, so they close really early, so it's hard to find a place that stays open past like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's interesting the way that the world has shifted. It definitely has impacted tournaments. Where the Flint Club plays Thursdays at a sports bar, and usually we get done around midnight or so. But now they're kicking. If we're not done, they kick us out by midnight. So definitely understand that. But we would never be able to get done by 10 with our format. I know the Twin Cities usually has a ton of backgammon to be played. It's another place where you can go and find backgammon most days of the week.
Not it used to be like that.
Right. I realize with the pandemic,
Yep.
it's tough to have anything look normal. So this is interesting. 9 checkers in the zone, and so Gary splits into what could be a blitzy type position.
Yep.
I like the play. Your opponent doesn't have a full blitz prepared, and you're kind of otherwise stuck in getting primed. And so by making this bold play, you're able to make something happen. Even if your opponent rolls a perfect 5-3, you have entering 1-6, 2-6, 2-5. And in this case, he didn't roll perfect. He just attacked. And now we have 14 numbers that hit, if my quick count is correct, including the 4-6, which is great. Now, do you play down and give an entering 6? I think not. I like this play. I think that you're actually trying to creep towards a cube here. You don't want to make a big, bold play that gets hit a lot. Now, I said we're creeping towards a cube. I don't think this is it. Matt does have an anchor on the ace point. So even if you roll a pointing number like a 1-2-4 combination, it's not going to lose your market every time. It does sometimes, but not every time. So I like the way this has played out so far and the cube action. Matt would have loved to have rolled a 3 there. It would have solidified his holding game. Now he's still stuck with a 1-point holding game. He can consider splitting, but I think it would be much too bold when your opponent has 10 checkers in the zone.
Oh yeah. Yep. You're probably doing it at Chouette, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you could, but double ones. This is likely to be a market loss. This is a very strong number. a big piece of this double one is in fact that checker that just got moved to the 23 point. Now all of a sudden you've got another inner-board point and you're on the edge of your opponent's gapped prime, so you can get away. I think even with a 3-2, it's going to be an interesting cube decision. But with a dance, I just have a tough time finding a take here.
I was gonna say, I was even thinking, are you? You're not too good, right? You
Well, I
can't
don't
be.
think you can be. Your opponent has the ace point, so they're going to win 17% just from that. So it does not take much more to make it to where you have
Yeah.
to double. And in fact, Matt's thinking, or well, Matt hesitated at least, so maybe it's closer to a take than I realized. I certainly thought it was a pretty quick pass, but let's see.
That was my gut.
I set it up backwards. I'm not sure I'll have enough time to get it set up again. Let's see here. Maybe though.
And now Gary's sort of taken a commanding 6-4 lead, 5 away, 7 away.
Well, if I got the position right, which I probably didn't,
Yeah.
it's a 200 pass. So
Okay.
my position is close enough. I can't be far off. So it's got to be just a monster pass. Double ones, very nice. Yep, make the 4 point. Try to get your opponent off of the forward anchor potential. 6-3, not your favorite entering number. You can come down, which strips the mid. This is certainly the safest play and the obvious choice. Or you can come out with one of those other checkers. And I'm certainly was considering.
Well, there's reason to come out. You let your opponent do something, right?
Yeah, and yeah, if you were going to come out, it would be from the front. I think I like this play. 4-3 was clear to make the anchor. 6-3 I think is clear to come out. It's a perfect number to get away. And if your opponent doesn't roll a 6, you're not in too bad of shape. 2-1 is interesting. We can make a bold play here. It's not bold, but we can make a play that leaves shots, and that's to come down to the 13. I don't think we slot anything. The nice thing about playing to the 13 is even if your opponent rolls a 6-3, 5-4, or 6-4, you have entering sixes to hit back and entering twos or ones or even threes sometimes. So it's not as much risk as it initially looks like. Yeah. And it gives you a nice opportunity to attack that checker when he tries to step up with it. Now, in the meantime, he's going to try to build a prime. But one thing that is important to keep in mind is you can't prime a single checker. Well, you can, but you shouldn't try to. You should try to attack it generally. Here, Gary is going to play 3 of them. Oh, this is interesting. I was assuming that Gary would leave that checker back, but I have no reason to be sure about that. Wow, what a roll. This is a super joker and a half. I don't know what you do with the last 2. Probably just make the 2 point, but this is just such a sick number here. Yeah, I think we just make the 2 point. We leave 6 blots. The only disaster would be, I guess, the 3 doubles.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you play on. So you're trading 3 numbers that are strong and probably make your opponent
now. You did not have a double before that, correct?
I can't imagine, but you've got an anchor. Your opponent has the ace. I mean, maybe, and you're down in the match. You're down 2-0 in a 7-point match. I can't imagine, but it won't surprise me if you've got the right idea that it's close.
I think this might be a double now that you're down 2, right?
Oh, I mean, I think you just are too good.
You think it's too good? Oh,
your opponent can never take this, right?
You're right. Maybe
I don't know. This is interesting. I'm gonna try to put this one in because I just have such a hard time believing this could ever be a take anytime from now, anytime soon. But you do have 6 blots, so I don't know. Maybe.
But a lot of those blots went to really nice homes. But you're right. It might have been too good because he could have hit 2 again, or.
Nope, it was just a clear pass.
Okay.
Yep.
It was a cube though. Was it a cube?
Yeah. It was a 100 double, 400 pass. So just a big double pass. You only have about 0.9 in equity. by not doubling. So well short of the 1.0 that you would need to play on. It's been a nice competitive close match. Love seeing it.
There hasn't been not a lot of really tough decisions yet, which makes it, or really awkward rolls that us as viewers like to see, right? Because then we can.
You mean pain? Are you saying that backgammon spectators like to see pain?
We love the pain, baby. Because we all know we've been in many painful situations.
Yeah, we want to share the wealth.
We'd like to see others have that pain also.
Speaking of pain, it's 6 away, 5 away. Our opponent has an anchor on the 4-point. This probably is a roll early, but I think he has to count and just consider it.
Are we ahead? It looks like he's ahead in the race, so I could count fast.
Yeah, it's about 140 for blue and about 122 for red. So I think he was ahead by 10, 15% or so. But more importantly, I think I don't think you have very many market losers. This may have been one of them. He rolled 9 pips and his opponent rolled 5, so now he's even more ahead. So 134 for blue and 115 for. I may have miscounted. I believe it's 21 pips though, and that would make this too much. I think you have to at the score. I think you'd rather be 5 away, 5 away instead of.
You think this is a little? You think this is pass?
Yeah, I'm not confident at all. But I think I was passing there. Our opponent doesn't have the 5-point yet, so that's a pretty big deal. Since I've got my phone handy, I am gonna look at it a little bit here.
Ooh, look at these double threes. Do you make your 5-point? Got to. Makes it a little tougher to clear, but he should be fine.
Yeah, so I was pretty far off. The contact is very strong here. It looks like it's a 200 take. In fact, it's barely a double. So I was really far off. I guess the contact that was created by having all those outer board points, it was plenty of contact and worth taking. I really like the double. I actually am surprised that Gary didn't consider passing. I think a lot of people would. But maybe not. I could just be. It could be one of those positions I just don't fully understand. So it's went really well for Matt. Obviously, I think Matt now is. Well, I don't know. I don't want to keep guessing wrong, but Matt's certainly in a very commanding position now.
And like you said earlier, blue also has some kind of racing equity, right?
Well, and I think most of that racing equity. Oh no, maybe he does still have it.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Oh, did he roll double 6? Yeah,
Yeah.
I look away for a second and I completely lose track of where we're at. But he was down 15 pips before that roll, so he did have a little bit of racing equity, but not a ton. Six one. Now Matt's hoping for some miracle or relatively unlikely sequence where Gary has to run and he gets to attack him and play for an odd gammon.
Would you? Yeah, he could have taken another checker off, which he didn't do.
I don't know. I probably was just taking 2 off, but I do like where his head's at. He's trying to maintain more of a board that way he can pick pass. He was comparing whether it was more common that he would win a gammon by pick passing or by hitting and making the ace. This is another variable, though. By not taking a checker off, you do risk some race equity. And I think it's clear here. Gary has to run.
I think you're correct with that.
His shot equity has to be way less than the race equity he gives up by playing to the ace.
Yep.
So now he should have at least, I don't know, 8 or 10%. Well, before this roll.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Let's see.
So it looks like Matt is going to go up 7-5 here, 7-6.
Yep, and it looks like before the roll, um, he had only about 5%
Oh, really?
race equity. Let me look at that again.
Sorry, that beep is from my text messages on my computer, so that will come up occasionally.
Yeah, are you have Facebook open or?
No, it's my text messages. I have my phone text messages on my computer also, so and I don't know how to turn that off. So
Is it an application like WhatsApp or iMessage or?
I think it's just I now you're getting deep here.
Oh well, you know what you could do if you just turn the audio off on your computer. Oh, but you won't be able to hear me. Okay.
That might not be so bad though.
Well, 2-6 from the bar is a nice number. Gets the hit.
Absolutely.
6-4 is going to enter, and I think it's just going to come down, but it could also come out. I do like out actually quite a bit. Yeah, this seems like the right idea.
And it's hard to hit two and leave shots, but it's out there, and he's going to probably have to hit now.
So 5-1. Yeah, do you hit?
Are you going to hit two checkers? You could hit two if you wanted.
That is the question. The problem is it's a pretty tough play to recover from. I think you have to like roll a 6-4 exactly or something. So maybe you just do this and leave your opponent the anchor. Play your race equity. I mean, your game plan might just be to race here and not to try to blitz, especially when your opponent has a 3-point board. It's not a great 3-point board, but it is a 3-point board. So I think I like Matt's.
That was illegal. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Matt will catch it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if these guys agreed to legal moves, but I do suspect they did.
Still hasn't cleaned that checker up.
Right. And now he's going to have to expose another blot. So the 5 is always down. The question is, do you duplicate 4s by hitting here? And I like it. I don't know if it's right, but I like it. 4-2 is a great number for Cary. He's going to make the 11 point.
Here we go.
Matt would love to roll an entering 2 here. 3-6 is not in the list. This is always getting doubled. The only question is this ever a take? And boy, I just
this one might be. There's like he's got no checkers in the zone. You know, if you.
The thing is, like you get gammon here, and it's like the match. You know, I mean, it's almost the match. So if you just pass, it's 4-away, 4-away. You're 50%. I suspect your take point's pretty high here. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I think it's probably just.
Are you putting it in, or do you?
I'm gonna try to. Yeah.
I'm guessing that is a closer take than what.
What I think.
Than what Matt dropped that pretty. I don't know. It's.
I think it's gonna be a pretty monster pass. Let's find out. No. Okay. Wow. I don't know if I had the position right, but the position I put in with 4 spare checkers on the 8, 4 spare checkers on the 13, 5 checkers on the 6 for Matt, with the 1 checker exposed still, that position at 5-away, 4-away is a big take on 3-play. So that might have ended up being a monster take. We'll find out hopefully later. We should have a full...
because he had no checkers in the zone except for those 2 checkers on the 11.
Yeah, you know, sometimes at the end of a match when those gammons are close to winning the match, people play a little too scared. So
it looked really ugly, didn't it? It looked ugly to me.
It did. And no structure, but we'll see. That could be a really nice find. I certainly couldn't have set the position up too incorrectly. So you've got to be right. The only question is by how much. No, you don't have to be, actually. It's funny. If I move a checker from the 8 to the 13, it's a pass. That's going to be an interesting one to look at. A tough one to notice the subtle differences. Now, this is a nice aggressive cube by Cary. This is 4-away, 4-away. So if Matt takes this cube and wins a gammon or loses a gammon, he loses the match. So with Gary having 6s and 4s to attack, this is another really tough take. In fact, Matt passes very quickly, and
Yeah.
I think I like that pass. Let's see if I can actually set this one up this time. I don't think I'm going to be able to, though.
But like you said, in match play, you get, all of a sudden you're four away, and you're like, people get really scared really fast.
Yeah, absolutely. See if I can. I'm going to cycle. No, I'm not going to be able to do it. No more interruptions here. So it did look like a pass. He did pass.
Yeah.
It's now 3 away, 4 away. Gary's not going to be able to double quite so aggressively at this score. In fact, not aggressively at all. This is a very hard score to double from. 5-1 makes the point.
Yeah.
5-1, I suspect slots, but are we ahead in the race? I guess we are. I don't know if I like the racing game plan here, but our opponent does already have an interboard point, so any kind of bold play that slots might be too big. Double 5. Well, we're certainly going to blitz now. Oh wow, but we can run. Oh my.
Like you
Yeah.
said, you're down. Maybe this is where you try to make 2 interboard points and hit. And
So here's why I like Matt's play. Here's why I think he's right. He has not doubled yet. So certainly if the cube was turned, you can try to win the match here with an aggressive play. But because the cube's not turned, I think I like this quieter play where we're
but
just gonna.
look at all your bad 6s though you have from
Yeah,
your
but your
2, 6,
opponent
3, 6,
has
5.
to take first. I think. I don't know. I don't know. It's
So
an
you're
interesting
you're
play.
thinking Matt's gonna double now?
I mean, I'm certainly going to think about it at this score because you do win some weird gammons here. But I don't know. I'm going to put it in really quick here.
We got time. Gary's thinking about this, so that's
Yeah.
good.
So what's Gary going to do with the 6-3 though? I guess he's just going to slot
Gary's
probably.
count.
Oh no, he can
Well,
run. He's going to count and run. Yeah. So if he runs, then Gary will be down by 8 pips.
so
So
it's
he'll be
not
down
wrong.
8 pips and not on roll. I think I like his play. Yeah, going back to the double 5, neither like Matt was incorrect, but also you were incorrect. We were supposed to make the ace, so we start blitzing right away.
Do you run and make the ace, or do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do you
you run
make
and
the
make the ace.
3 and the ace
You do
point?
not make the 3 and the ace. That was an overplay, but you can run and make the ace and get a little bit of blitz equity out of it.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's an interesting play. If the
And the
cube was
nice thing
turned, I
about
think
making
it's
the
quick.
ace is you get to shove his checker off your ace point, where he can just sit back there and get a bunch of fly shots like right now.
Right, right.
Do they freeze, by the way? Oh no, he's
No,
moving.
I
I
think they're
thought
there.
maybe we froze.
So Matt has a 3 to play. And he's considering playing quietly, I think, but the alternative is probably from 6 to 3, allowing us more attacking numbers. Yeah, I think I like this play. It's 6-2-5-3-4-4 that hits, and you do have some return shots.
And coming down with 2 is way too big, probably, because then you give it 8.
Yeah, then it's like 8, 9 numbers or something that hit.
Yeah.
It's an extra 5 numbers, so
And his
it's just
board
too
is
much.
really, yeah. What was it? 6 what?
6-3, 6-3. So he
Did he
makes
put
the
it to the
prime.
right spot?
Yeah, he played it legally.
Oh, was he on the 14? Okay.
He played the 3 in from the 8 is what you saw there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So Matt rolled something a 3-2.
Oh, look at
that
this.
didn't do anything good. Oh my. A crime, I tell you. A crime.
He's rubbing his head. It's got to be, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can never take this. You just have to pass and hope to get into a gammonish position on the next game and get the cube in.
That's why that just letting him sit on that ace point. as opposed to, like you said, you're sort of blitzing a little bit.
Right, yeah, the double five would have certainly changed everything. But you know what? If he blitzes, maybe he ends up racing it off later, like with the 6-3. I don't
Yeah, you
know.
never know.
So
Yeah,
yeah, but Matt loves making the five immediately. He's certainly disappointed that the double four pops out and his opponent
yeah.
has structure as well. He just would love to get a cube in here and play for the gammon for play the gammons for the match. 2-3 for Gary. These are tough. The cube's not turned yet, so you have to consider splitting and getting your forward anchor, because
Yeah.
if the cube is turned, it's a lot riskier.
And Matt's thinking about sending a cube because of the opportunity for good rolls and then gammon, right?
Yep. By the way, Gary was supposed to play both checkers up. Looking at XG, by playing both checkers from the back, you give yourself a better chance to anchor.
Yep. Very true.
Cube is turned. And 5-1, not everything that Matt dreamed of. But if Gary does not roll the 3 here, then Matt is going to be, yes, Matt is looking very strong here with these blitz plays. In fact, this would be a pass if
oh, look at
if
this.
the cube wasn't turned. Unfortunately for Matt, this is not one of the numbers he was hoping for. I don't know. Let's see. He might re-roll if he could. This is an interesting way to think about whether or not you like the number.
Well, do you you're in blitz mode, right? Do you hit on the ace?
I probably would have made this play, but having looked at XG, 3-ply likes just making the 2 and the 3-point, forcing your
Oh,
opponent to
really?
roll a 3. Yep. You create a lot of structure. You've got lots of attacking numbers next time, but you still win a lot of games. It worked
Hello.
out. In fact, this number would have been so much worse if he would have played it the way XG liked it.
Oh,
So
look at
this was a dream for Matt. He's now got visions of sugar plums in his head, and
Oh,
all of them have the word gammon on them. But we got a little interruption. Gary's not going to go
Gary's not going
willingly.
away. Oh, Gary's
Yeah, this could
he's
turn
back.
into
Not his
time versus
favorite,
time.
but he'll take it, I'm sure.
Now, do you think about coming down here, slotting the
Yeah,
plane?
there might be.
It wouldn't have
only,
worked. It might have just been too big. I can definitely see why it
well,
might
the
have been
only
too big.
the nice thing about it is, well, or just roll double sixes the next time.
Right.
But the good news, bad news. Is Gary coming up with his aces now? He's got to, isn't he? If he rolls an ace.
Oh wow! I think every ace steps. Yeah, I mean, of course it does. You can't worry about ghosts here. Your opponent only has 10 checkers in the zone. They
Yeah.
have to break their 5 prime. So Gary is just praying for any ace. He doesn't care what comes with it. He's playing the ace.
Unless it's 1-5.
1-6 is much better than 1-5 and forced.
Gary would have liked Matt on the bar not coming in the last one, but
wow, this is a great number for Matt. This has to be a joker. Yep. And the gammons are still well in play here. Now, do you attack or do you just take the prime? Well, he doesn't have a choice. He's just going to run out this time. Even if Gary rolls the ace here, there's still plenty of gammons to be had because he can go fishing.
Yeah.
So Matt just wants to roll a 5. That way he can safely go fishing for a 3rd or 4th checker. And that looked like a 2-1 to me. So this is just going to be... Yeah, this makes sense. Give yourself the most covers. You gotta pay off to 1-6.
Come on, Gary. Let's see something fun. Okay.
This isn't it. So there's only like 4 numbers that don't cover here. Is that right? Or is it 12 numbers? I gotta remember.
Probably 12.
Yeah, I think 12 sounds better off the top of my head. But now he's got it. So now we just wait and see if he's able to do anything with this. I think here you play both. Yep, I think this is it. You're going to try to clear the 6 point safely, and that should minimize the number of times you give up a third checker.
Sounds good.
So you're really hoping for like a double one here just to clean it up. 5-1's perfect.
Oh, that's a great number. Yep. So it's about 20% or so with, well, how many gammons? About 20% with two checkers.
There's like 17% wins and
But you get
boy.
gammoned about 20% or so.
Yeah, I think off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I should. This is one of those reference positions I should know.
All plays itself. Nothing can go wrong for Matt from here, I'm sure, in the backgammon world.
Oh, you doomed him. It's over now.
No, look at that. Sweet, he's in.
And Gary could just roll the Joker and race this off.
Looks kind of ugly, doesn't it?
It does, but you know what? Our opponent has already cracked the back of their prime. They have no numbers. Well, 6-1, I guess, that makes the 3-point. I think you just make this play. You got to start taking checkers off. Yeah. You're hoping for some freak gammons that happen where your opponent never gets away. So I think this is the right idea. If this is 2-1, I'm just clearing the 5 and holding the 4-point board, hopefully for the rest of the game. Matt's hoping for some really nice 2s like 6-2.
There we go.
6-5 is a shot, but it also wins more gammons, so it's not the end of the world. Double 3, so much for holding the 4-point board. Matt would love to see like a 5-2 here or a big double. 3-1 is not the ticket.
Well,
what do you think? I think you just clear from the back.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to make some play that takes a checker off, but there just isn't anything that's safe.
Oh, no, Matt.
Wow, double 2s.
Gary, what are you doing? You got to roll bigger.
Gary's just for the fans, he just wants us to get excited here.
Oh, here we go.
And another shot. Matt,
game-winning shot.
Neither player is cooperating. Or maybe they're both cooperating.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he stacks all 13 on the ace point.
And the hand to the head, and he's going, what the heck is going on here?
Oh wow. And this might be a death blow
on this game. Oh.
This might be a death blow. It might be over. But there are plenty of shots here, so Gary can save this gammon still by hitting a shot. 3s, 1s are mostly bad. Yes, this is it. Now,
come on, Gary.
What is the right play? 13 numbers if you make the points. 13 numbers if you don't. But if he doesn't make the point and Gary rolls an ace, Gary can stay there. I think I am taking a checker off. I like this play, especially if there's 6 checkers left. I can't tell if anything's stacked. This play looks like the ticket to me.
Oh, no.
Double 4. There we go. Gary's got a chance to get off this. Now, I think you just spread out in the outfield. You're hoping to hit a shot when he comes out, hoping that he doesn't roll some super joker number here that hits you.
Nothing hits, right?
I think you're right. Double 4s, double 3s, it all misses.
Oh, look at it. Look at Matt just sneaking in very quietly there.
Wow. Can you stay? You cannot. You have to come within a hitting distance. So
right in front of him with a 2?
Well, it's interesting. You could also bring both checkers a little closer.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
This takes 1 checker off. This should be relatively gin as a non-gammon. But this is backgammon, so we'll find out if that's true or not.
Is that the right play?
I don't know. Gary should have counted all the numbers here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he might be low on time. I can't tell.
Looks like he's got,
No, I think he's got 18 minutes. I think he should have counted the numbers. It worked out
yeah.
this one plays, but
Okay.
um,
Gary's feeling a lot better right now.
yep. DMP. I don't think either player will play games with the cube here. I suspect they're just going to go ahead and send it, but we'll see. Plenty of open level players enjoy delaying their cube action at scores like this. Ooh, looks like they're going to take a quick break.
Matt, they're both using their timeout.
Yep. So actually, I'm going to set this to on break, and we will be right back. This is Ben Friesen and Corey Smith with you
for the exciting.
The exciting Masters Finals. It's been a great match. We've been going for an hour and a half here. It's Gary Koscielny and Abt Brackets. Thank you to the USBGF. Thank you to Gammon Stuff, especially for sponsoring the stream. Thank you to Lynn for putting on another great tournament at the New York Metro Open. Our USBGF streaming staff consists of our stream producer, Michael Mesich, our stream coordinator, our commentary coordinator, Antoinette-Marie. I'm Ben Friesen. I've also assisted today. Special thank you to our on-site staff that has helped us this tournament, Reklaitis and Roberto Litzenberger. Without them, we would not be able to bring this stream to you this weekend. Unfortunately, many of our staff did not attend because of COVID. Corey, thank you for your commentary as well. And we did have another guest.
Go get yourself a cocktail down at the casino and bring it up, baby.
Yep, it's time for a 1-point finish on the Masters, and we'll be back with that. And I'm thinking about 10 minutes or so. It looks like they are back. They probably
that was a quick break. We didn't even get it. I couldn't even finish my cocktail.
Couldn't get a cocktail. And they're off. 4-2 for Matt. Opens this final game. Makes the 4-point standard opening. 3-2 for Gary. Not his favorite. He certainly is not feeling great about this game anymore. Matt reminding him to hit the clock. Definitely the right move. 4-5, great number for Matt. Matt's all of a sudden a huge favorite. Gary needs to roll the anchor number here.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, it's all falling apart in front of Gary's face.
And as you can see, oh, look at this double aces. And Gary has his hand on his head. He is not so happy.
Yeah, he is.
Both hands on the head now.
He needs an ace just as soon as he can.
Oh
my gosh. Matt decided he was done playing games. This match is all Gary but over.
Gary is like, what happened? I just sat down and
my. I think Gary is very happy with the hedge they just went and made because he
Yes.
is getting just absolutely slaughtered here. His
And
only
that's a,
hope is a double four, double two, maybe a 4-2, and he needs it right meow.
and if you can, this is a very common backgammon pose when you see both hands on the head like Gary's been doing.
I think this play is illegal. I think that he has already played.
Yeah. You think he's already played them all?
I do. I think this is a 5th-5. I am not sure. I'm not sure it's going to matter, let alone not sure if I'm correct. But
Oh my, come on.
oh, wow,
The,
Matt is
Gary's
just
got the hands
ruthless.
on the head.
Wow.
Gary
Well,
is
I hope everyone enjoyed the match, but this last one's a bloodbath. Hide the eyes of the women, the children, and if you have a sensitive stomach, you better look away because this match is all but over. Fortunately, this is backgammon, and
another
there's still
double
hope.
fives. Oh my goodness. Is that double fives?
I think it is. It might be 5-4 or something, but I don't know what I was
No,
thinking
double
about.
fives.
Yeah.
That's like five doubles in a row. No,
Now,
bring it
I
in.
think you have to bring this in, which does leave a bad number. You have to bring it in from the back. So double
But
six is going to at least fill the point. Oh, but
yeah,
it leaves bad 6-2. Wow, this is an interesting play. If you
but
play it
he's
this
got three
way,
checkers up though.
well, I know, but
Yeah.
still, you really don't like getting hit here. It just is not ideal. Oh, where's the other two? Oh, I
Oh,
thought we had a game here.
double
All
twos.
right. Well, I
Now
think
what do
the
you
the
do?
the first two are always 4-2. Yep, you're always shifting. And the only question is, do you make some other play here that doesn't involve coming in? Maybe one in. No, I just bring them both in. I'm going to leave the double six bad.
Yeah, so what? Again, we go back
Yeah,
to
this could be safer actually.
but yeah,
6-5. No, this is safer. This has got to be the right play. I
yeah.
was I was acting too hasty bringing the checkers in. Uh,
6-4 is bad now. So there
no,
oh another
6-4 is
double.
okay, but and double five is a
Oh yeah.
monster. You're just clearing, and he's just hoping to clear this last point before Gary does anything. I feel bad for Gary, but not too bad. He is going to be, it appears, the second place finisher.
Look at that. Oh,
Ooh, it's
hold
not
on.
over for the fans.
Come on, Gary.
Don't
You
count your
got this.
chickens, Ben.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
right
What
in
a
between.
match. What a match. I suspect that Gary will reach out and shake his hand here. Maybe they'll take a few rolls, but I'm glad
There
this
it is.
match was so competitive. Obviously, awesome plays. Really enjoyed watching these guys play this match, strategize.
Who would have known after that 4-2 you said this is bad and it just went from it was
Yes, it
done.
did. Man, what a way to finish it. I'm sure Gary's excited about the fact that they took a break because there's nothing but hedging going on in that break.
I
So let
hope
me
so,
talk about
yes.
some upcoming events. We actually have in 2 weeks the return of the ABT Online. A little bit of self promotion here. I am hosting and directing a series of ABT Online events called the Big Freeze Out. In 2 weeks, we'll have the double single elimination format. In February, we're going to have a more Swiss format. And then it continues on all the way through July. In March, there's actually the return of the Minnesota Open. This will be the second annual Minnesota Open online. I hope to see you there at the ABT Online.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah, and it should be a great format.
You go find a good doubles partner, Ben. All right,
Yeah,
because you're
I
talking
wish
to
I
the
could play.
doubles
I wish I
champs.
could.
Yeah.
But the thing I wanted to mention is there's going to be a free roll. So if you play in 3 of the 6 big freeze out tournaments over the next 7 months, then in August you'll be able to play in a $1,632 free roll that will pay out at least half the field. We'll get some money back. So I hope to see everybody participating. Now, what I think people are more excited about, we also have upcoming in-person ABT events. In about a month from now, we have the Texas tournament. This is in San Antonio over the Super Bowl weekend. Always a great event. Tara, Bill, and blanking on their other director's name. I'll look it up really quick. They always run an amazing event. Um,
I've had a lot of friends that went to the San Antonio and loved it. Yuri
yeah, it
Millman,
is. It's
do you
just
know Yuri? Yeah, he's been there. He loves it.
yeah, and I've been there a couple times. I won't make it this year, but certainly I hope to see everybody in person when you're comfortable, obviously, to play. March, we have Cleveland, Ohio. For those of you in the Midwest, you can make it to Cleveland. It's the 23rd through the 26th. I will be directing that along with Joe Miller and Fran Miller. And then, of course, in April is the Las Vegas tournament. This will be Rory's second time running the Las Vegas tournament. We just had an awesome event in November. And then going down the list, which of course you can find all of this information on the USBGF website, as well as, of course, the Chicago Point calendar. After Vegas, we have Cherry Blossom, we have California, we have Atlanta, and I think I'm Michigan, and I think that covers us through July. I'm sorry if I missed one. Again, thank you to Corey. Thank you to Chris Bray for commentary. Thank you to
Thank you
our
for having
on-site
me. This was
help.
terrific.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we had a great match here. We did have some help from Matt Reklaitis and Roberto Litzenberger on site. Definitely appreciate that, as well as Ed Corey, who is working with Lynn for the event.
And there's Ed. Speak of the devil.
There
There he
he
is.
is right there. And we hope you enjoyed this stream. If you did, give us a like, give us a share, and get
Give
involved.
us a dislike if you want. I don't
Yeah.
care, whatever.
You know, the USBGF needs more people to help with things like this. We rely almost entirely on unpaid support on site.
We're not getting paid?
No, not for streaming. Unfortunately, it is one of those things that is very intense time and financially. One of the reasons why Bill and Tara just get so much credit for what they do, because they put on such a great stream and have invested so much of their own time and money into that. So love seeing all of you here. Thanks for watching.
Man, it's
And
been a pleasure. You were awesome.
yeah, thank you.
You got
Thank
those
you.
XG positions in real fast.
Yeah, there's one thing I've gotten good at is using my thumbs. But I think that's it. So thank you for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again next time.